You told me we live in a civilized nation, but I can't hear that without finding it frustrating. There's something about that statement that's way beyond grating, and it's that we're so civilized many still lack proper accommodation. While houses stand empty because lives are worth less than profits, and the fear of appearances at shop fronts brings spike strips to clear out some small bit of shelter from winter's grip, we've bought into capitalism with our humanity as forfeit. And it's amazing how many things you can tend to take for granted when you've got somewhere for your feet to be planted, like having all you need can leave you so cold-hearted. But when you've swapped your soul for luxuries, your view will get slanted. And I ain't saying everyone needs beds of roses and sheets of silk, or bags of gold and their pockets overflowing. And it's not a mad dream about some land of honey and milk, it's about giving everyone a chance to stay safe and keep growing. See, something as basic as housing should be a given human right. It shouldn't be the kind of thing for which you have to fight. You shouldn't have to beg for it or scrape and be polite. And it's not the kind of problem we should let be swept from sight. See, sleeping under the stars ain't the fairy tale it sounds like, when it's way beyond the choice and it's the reality of daily life. When you're starving like a famine, but it's not because you're on hunger strike, it's just that life without an address is a recipe for strife. And when you're huddled in a doorway, hungry and frozen, with nowhere to hide as a cold wind blows in, try not to get swept up with the whole flood as it flows in and being treated like it's a life that you've willingly chosen. See, it's 2019. There ain't no excuse. No first world country should see people with no roof. We've already got the neck of our future in a noose. And when we've got tent cities, do you need more proof? And it's not someone else's issue. We need to stand up and own this. See, at least 2 people you went to school with are probably homeless. So realise that it affects us all more or less. And if we let it continue, then we're far from our best. So look with open eyes and you'll be forced to confess that it's an ever-growing problem we need to squash to a flatness. See, you'd need a clear mind to find a way out of that madness, but you'll never really sleep when the street is your mattress. And it's hard to stay positive. Of course life drags when you carry all your own inside a couple of black bags, running the gauntlet and hit with endless snags, because comfort comes with unaffordable price tags. And with no locked doors to keep away the fear of abuse, if we let this continue, we'll have failed our youth. We'll leave a world more concerned with cash than people having roofs. And it's not something to look forward to, man. That's the truth. See, we ain't living in a paradise where the future's sweet, with everybody's life sorted out, all packaged and neat. When we've got nearly 5,000 sleeping harsh on the streets, and for those stuck in this life, it's where hell and earth meets. Are we desensitized? The streets should be running with tears. The thought homelessness still exists should fill you with fear when it's costing us more than 400 souls in a year. And we caused it. We let it happen. The buck stops here. And with 1 in 200 homeless, our society's wrecked. And every year there's 4% more, so how long till you're next? Till you're out there seeking warmth and getting shown no respect? It could easily be a life that you yourself reflect. But let's face it though, the statistics are a guess, so we'll never really know how many call the streets home. But the numbers day by day are continuing to grow. So why do we let this be an existence for anyone to own? It's the 21st century. It seems fucking nuts to me that some can still dream of 4 walls and a bed as a luxury, because we've allowed our constant chasing and craving for currency to overtake care and to drown out our decency. So look to your soul and the state of the stain and ask yourself what's going on in your brain if you can turn your nose up in disgust and disdain as a man without home drinks a beer to stay sane and to numb out the hold of the cold and the pain when you walk through a world that allows you to sustain the kind of lifestyle where you're happy to partake and drain 2 bottles of red because you've had a bad day on the train. Seriously? Look, before you get through your front door tonight and lock it, just remember how lucky you are to have house keys in your pocket. And that's not even a joke, so please don't even mock it. Just spare a thought for those who didn't have your luck one bit. Because I know you think you survived the streets well, you think you're that tough. But I can guarantee it breaks you, man. It's more than enough to bust your spirit and to leave your soul crushed. After all, there's a reason that they call it sleeping rough.